Hello, good morning. Um, if you're new to my YouTube channel, welcome. My name is Sherry, and I'm here to talk about grief, the subject that nobody wants to talk about. But um, I've have several videos already on, and it's all under my playlist that says my grief journey. So please feel free, if you've never been here before, please feel free to check out my other videos. The first one really kind of sets the tone and explains my journey, but I will just say a little bit. My husband passed away in September of 2024, and so it is a journey. It is definitely a journey, and I'm here. I'm not a medical professional. This is just my journey. So I'm here to help myself, which it has. It really has been helping me to get on here and talk about things, and to help anybody else that might be going through something, that might just need to hear that there's other people out there going through the same thing. So, with that being said, I'm going to say my three things, and anybody that's been watching my video knows I have three sayings that I like. The first one, is it's okay to not be okay. And we have days, we have a lot of times where you're going to feel like you're just not okay. You're going to be down. You're going to get tearful at things that you wouldn't. I mean, it could be a song, it could be a movie, it could be anything. But it's okay to not be okay. We grief is, and my second saying is grief doesn't end. It changes. It absolutely changes, but it never ends. And my third saying that I like to say is love never dies. So that's my three sayings. I use those all the time, and so you'll hear me say those quite a bit. Now, so I'm just going to kind of start this video today, and I just got home from work, and I just wanted to say I had a much better day last night. I work nights, so I had a much better night than the night before. And the night before, of course, it was my birthday. It was a bad trigger for me. So I really had, it was tough. It was tough. I did get through it. I made it through it. And so last night was a lot better. Now, one thing I want to bring up is, I did mention this in a previous video, but I got to thinking about it on the drive home. I brought up Christmas and how Christmas is so hard for anybody that's grieving. Christmas just automatically, it's so hard to be jolly. It's just hard. We don't want to do that. Well, I can tell you, and like I've always done, I tell you what works for me. It doesn't mean it'll work for you. But I just noticed something as far as myself, that something that helps me to get in the Christmas spirit. I did put up some Christmas decorations at home. Not many. In fact, I'm sitting here. This is a blanket it's a throw blanket that says Merry Christmas and has a snowman. I put this up every year. It goes in this recliner, and I have a snowman that sits in the recliner. It's just been tradition, and every single year I take pictures of my grandkids there. So I see that I've seen, from the time they were little bitty toddlers all the way up till now, and their oldest is 13. But I have, the growth pictures. Anyway, I put that up. I like snowmen, so I have several snowmen throughout. I have a very small Christmas tree. I changed that last year after my husband died. The first Christmas was, I didn't want to do it. I did not want to do it, but I did it because of my grandchildren. But I bought a little bitty tree. I didn't want a big tree. I bought a tiny little tree. Anyway, that being said, I did put up some Christmas decorations, but I have always, my favorite Christmas movie is Miracle on 34th Street. I have always watched that movie or had it on in the background when I'm decorating. And I did that, and I was fine. I was fine. I was kind of getting into the spirit a little bit. Now, that being said, those were my little traditions and they worked for me. However, they might not work for you, and I can totally understand how it could backfire. I can understand how the Christmas decorations and the Christmas traditions and everything could totally go the other direction and make you sad, make you upset and all that. So I'm just kind of saying that I did that, but it might not work for you. I do feel like it's better to try to have your normal, things. I mean, definitely things are different. And another thing today at work, I just was listening to music in my headphones, and I just switched it and started listening to Christmas carols. So I did that for a little bit to get in the Christmas spirit, and it was okay. It didn't make me sad. Working at Amazon at Christmas time is hard anyway, because you want it to be over with. You just want it done, and because they work you to death. But anyway, I just did want to bring that up about Christmas, because I know how hard Christmas is, and I know that when you're grieving, it's so easy to just, you don't want to do it. You don't want to do it. But honestly, if it wasn't for my grandchildren, I probably wouldn't do it. And which, it's hard to just skip Christmas. It's just hard. You've had Christmas your whole life. It's just hard to just not do it. So I continue to do it and try to get in the Christmas spirit. So now that I've told you what I do, hopefully that'll work for you. But like I said, tread lightly, because I could see how it could backfire. Okay. But anyway, that being said, that was, my advice on that. The other thing I had read somewhere today, and that no matter how long it's been since you've lost your loved one, that grief is like an ocean, and it just comes in tidal waves, and it comes when it's the most least expected. It just sneaks up on you in waves. And when I read that, I thought, that's pretty accurate. I mean, just like a big wave in the ocean, it hits you. And you know, what will a big wave do in the ocean? It'll knock you down. And that's what grief will do. Grief will absolutely just knock you down. So, um, anyway, I just read that and I thought that was pretty accurate. Um, but oh, excuse me, I'm tired. I've worked all night. I'm sleepy. But anyhow, um, you know, I've always said I like to say positives, and if any negative, there's, you know, I have made several comments about people saying stupid things. And then I got to thinking about it today and I thought, you know, I'm not going to mention that you know, I'm not going to get into that anymore. Um, because I don't want these videos to sound like I'm just griping or anything like that. I mean, yes, people do say stupid things, but I'm not going to harp on it anymore. I mean, just kind of me mentioning it to you, just let you know. I just was letting you know that just be expecting it. People will, you know, but, um, and it generally will, some of it will hurt you, some of it will, some of it, but and like I said, you know, most people mean well, they just don't know what to say. They just don't know what to say, so they say something silly. But anyway, um, but when I've said many times, I always try to say something positive, even if there's any negative. I try to say something positive. I can tell you today, I mean, I had a good day. I didn't have a bad day today. I did not have a bad day at all. I had a good day. Like I said, I listened to Christmas music and whatnot. Um, but, you know, I had mentioned things that I have done, that I do crafts, and I do, um, well, I mentioned crafts, I mentioned adult coloring, I mentioned reading, I mentioned everything. Um, and then I did also mention going outside. And speaking of, it's Christmas time. Go look at Christmas lights. Go look at Christmas lights. Take a drive. Go look at the Christmas lights. And again, now that I said that, I thought, well, I mean, it's fun to go look at the Christmas lights. I can absolutely see how, again, just like what I said about the music, it could backfire. It could backfire on you, and it could make you sad. So, you know, I didn't, as I started saying that, but I would try. I honestly would. I would at least try to do things at Christmas that I wouldn't, how do I say this? I would try to do things at Christmas to where you're not sad all the time at Christmas. Try to get through it. And I know how hard that is. And I'm sorry this video is going to be kind of short, and it's not really giving a whole lot of advice today because I'm tired. I'm just tired. You know, sometimes, especially working all night, you know, I get home, I do these videos, and then, and you know, I never know what I'm going to say. I sit down to do these videos, and I never know what I'm going to say. Things just come out. Things just come out. And I did, I do know something I want to say, and this is an important thing. I thought of this on the drive home. I don't remember which video it was. I think it was the second one, maybe third, I don't know. But I had mentioned that I had noticed, here's my kitty cat. I'm not going to let her turn the video off like she did the other day. Yeah, you sweet thing. But I had mentioned, ouch, uh, about the year mark. I had noticed that people quit saying my husband's name. I don't hear it anymore. People just don't use his name anymore. And I told you how that really bothered me. And I said his name. His name is Buddy, and I will keep his name alive. I will say his name. And then I suddenly thought of something. As I was driving, I said, oh, this is something I'm gonna tell anybody that follows me on these videos. I'm gonna say this. I mentioned my husband's name. However, I didn't give you a chance to do that. So here's my offer to you. And I know that a lot of people's already seen that video where I said that and aren't going to go back and watch it again. So if you watch this video, maybe you'll do it. If you would like, put in the comments your loved one's name. And it's up to you. You can just put first name. You don't have to put, if you don't want to put the whole thing, just put the first name. And I understand, privacy issues and all of that. But if you just put their name, when I see it and I make the next video, I will say those names. I will go down any name that is in my comments and I will say their names out loud. Because I think, me personally, I think it's so important to keep saying their name. To not, I know we'll never forget them. I know that. But it's, it's just to honor them, to remember them, and to say their name. And so if you want me to say your loved one's name on the next video, put the name in the comments and I will say their name. That is a promise to anybody listening that I will absolutely do that. And because that's something I'm very passionate about, to continue to say their name. And it's like I said, that actually was a negative on one of my other videos, is that I had noticed that people stopped saying my husband's name, and it bothered me. And generally what I do anytime I recognize a negative, I try to say a positive. Now, I did say in one of my other videos that I recognized in myself that I'm letting my house go. that I'm just letting housework go, and it's, and I'm just feeling like, oh, who's going to see it? So I don't keep it as clean as I should. That's getting better. I'm working on it. But I did say, when I get it all cleaned up, I'll show it to you. I don't know if I will or not. I don't know. It just, I feel kind of funny doing that. So I don't know. But I'm just being, I'm being real, and I'm being honest, and I'm being, saying there's things that I recognize that that goes alongside with the loneliness. The loneliness is still there. The loneliness is there. Believe me, I try to do different things. And like I mentioned, I do the crafts, I do this, I do that, I do everything to try to keep my mind occupied. But at the end of the day, I'm in the house alone. I'm here alone. I've got my cats that keep me company, but I'm alone. And it, The loneliness is probably, I mentioned this in another video, that's the hardest thing. It's so hard to deal with being all alone. So anyway, this has already been 20 minutes and I didn't mean for it to be that long. So I'm so, so, so sorry. So have a blessed day. And again, I'm sorry that I'm not giving a whole lot of advice today. I'm just really tired and I'm going to go to sleep. So have a blessed day. And for anybody that's been following all my videos and who looks forward to seeing them, I am so, so thankful. I'm so thankful that you're here and that you want to listen to what I'm going to say. I mean, I feel so blessed that just me talking about my journey is that there's people out there that want to hear it. So thank you for continuing to watch these and for liking them. And it's grief is a journey. And it's a different journey for everybody. And so hopefully I've said something today that'll help you. And I will see you tomorrow. And I'm going to go get me some sleep. So you have a wonderful day.